Grace Miller's hands trembled so violently that the glasses on her tray clinked together like delicate wind chimes in a storm.
This is such a lovely
She'd
place,
poured
isn't
countless
it?
drinks at Murphy's
I'm
Irish
really
pub in
glad we could
downtown
meet
Chicago,
here.
rowdy executives toasting deals, loved-up couples on dates, broken-hearted regulars nursing whiskey neat. Over the years, Grace had mastered the art of the perfect server smile, invisible when patrons wanted privacy, attentive when they snapped their fingers. But nothing prepared her for the gut punch of seeing Luke stride in, his arm draped possessively around a stunning blonde whose laugh echoed through the crowded room like expensive crystal. "Grace." Murphy barked from behind the polished oak bar. "Table 7 needs refills." "Table 7. Luke's table." She squared her shoulders, plastered on that professional grin, and approached. "Another round?" she asked, her voice remarkably steady despite the chaos raging inside her. Luke glanced up. For a split second, something raw flickered in his hazel eyes. Guilt? Regret? Then it vanished, replaced by icy detachment. "Yeah, and hurry it up this time." He turned back to his date without another glance, as if Grace were just part of the furniture. The blonde, Madison, Grace overheard him call her, giggled at her phone. "Babe, check this out." Babe. The pet name he'd whispered to Grace during 3 years of late-night talks, shared dreams, and promises of forever. Now it belonged to someone else. Grace took their order, retreated to the bar on legs that felt like jelly, and powered through the shift without cracking. When Murphy finally cut her loose, she snatched her coat and slipped out the back door into the alley. The crisp November wind slapped her cheeks, grounding her in the moment. Alone at last, she let the tears come, quiet, streaming down her face and dripping onto her scuffed sneakers. She leaned against the cold brick wall, arms wrapped tightly around herself. Why am I never enough? The question echoed the old wounds. Mom bailing when she was 12, Dad chasing oil rig jobs across Texas and showing up maybe twice a year. Luke swearing he'd never leave, then ghosting her like yesterday's trash. She wiped her face with her sleeve. No time for this breakdown. She had early nursing classes, exams to cram for, rent overdue. "Excuse me." A deep, measured voice cut through the dark from her left. Grace jerked her head up. A tall man stood a respectful distance away, hands buried in the pockets of a tailored wool coat that screamed money. Dark hair, chiseled jaw, features sharp enough for Forbes covers. But his brown eyes, warm like fresh espresso, held no judgment, only quiet concern. "Sorry to startle you," he said softly. "I was across the street. Saw you come out. You okay?" Her default response bubbled up, "I'm fine." But his gaze stopped her. It felt seen. "Just a rough night," she managed. He stepped closer but kept space. "That guy inside, at table 7. He hurt you?" "Not a question." Grace swallowed hard. "It's complicated." "It usually is." Pause. "I'm Austin." "Grace." He repeated her name gently, like savoring it. "This is Forward, and you don't know me from Adam, but I have to say this before I go." She nodded, exhausted. He should have treasured you. The words hit like a lifeline, simple, profound. Her breath hitched. "You don't know me," she whispered. "I know enough." He pulled out a sleek business card. Crying in an alley at midnight on a Tuesday usually means life's kicking you hard. If you want a real job, good pay, flexible, meaningful, call this number. Grace stared at the card suspiciously. "Why offer me a job? You don't know my qualifications. I watched you finish a tough shift after heartbreak without letting it show. You're holding it together now. That's strength. Real strength." His eyes softened. "You're tougher than you realize, Grace." He backed away. No pressure. Just an opportunity. Then he was gone, vanishing into the night. Grace glanced at the card under the dim streetlight. Austin Kingswell, CEO, Kingswell Foundation. Everyone in Chicago knew the name, the reclusive billionaire who'd funded hospitals, schools, scholarships. The man who shunned spotlights but changed lives quietly. And he'd called her strong. She pocketed the card, feeling a flicker of something dangerous, hope. That night in her cramped studio apartment, Grace couldn't sleep. The card propped against her nursing textbook mocked her doubts. Billionaires didn't rescue waitresses from alleys. There had to be strings. But what if there weren't? Her phone buzzed. Mia from work, heard Luke brought his new girl. You good? Fine, Grace lied. By dawn, desperation won. She dialed at 9 a.m. sharp. Kingswell Foundation, Marissa speaking. Hi, this is Grace Miller. Mr. Kingswell gave me this number, about a job? Marissa's tone warmed instantly. Yes. He mentioned you. Can you interview today at 2 o'clock? He'd like to see you personally. Today? Grace's heart raced. Sure. The foundation's headquarters towered downtown, sleek glass and steel piercing the skyline. Grace arrived in her best navy dress, makeup masking exhaustion. Marissa greeted her warmly, ushering her through marble lobbies to the 28th floor. Austin's office overlooked the city like a throne room, minimalist, powerful. He stood by the window, turning with a genuine smile that humanized him. Grace. Thanks for coming. He gestured to a chair opposite his, not behind the desk, a deliberate equality. You must have questions. Why me? She blurted. He didn't flinch. I researched after last night. 2 years balancing bar shifts and nursing school, perfect attendance. Impressive. Her eyes widened. You investigated me? Always do for potential hires. He leaned in. We need a coordinator for our nursing scholarships. Someone who's lived the struggle.